My name is Lisa Smajewicz. Today's date is December 19th, 1995. I'm conducting an interview with Caroline Mallah in Clearwater, Florida, in the USA. Can you tell us your name and spell it, please?
Yes, my name is Caroline Mallah, M-A-L-L-A-H.
And your name at birth? When you were born, your name
Nissim, N-I-S-S-I-M.
Did you have any other names?
No.
Any nicknames?
No, ma'am.
And what's your birth date?
March 11, 25.
And your age?
Close to 70.
Okay.
Very soon.
And the city and country you were born in?
Salonika, Greece.
Now, Caroline, describe to me, if you can, about your life in Salonika before the war. What do you remember?
We came from poor family. And after I finished my public school, so my parents, they can afford it to send me to high school. And I have to go to work. From 12 years old, I started to work. And I was working in a factory to make men socks. And I was working in the machines until 15 years old. And that's it. And then, the routine. It came the German people who wasn't allowed to work anymore and all that stuff.
Well, before we talk about that, tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, we was 3 sisters. And over there in Salonika, to get married, you have to work so hard to give the guy you're going to marry, to give our gold coins and a house, everything, to get married. So this is the reason, the most thing, my mother, she took out me from school because she wants my old sister to get married, to give all that stuff to the groom.
Now, I know it's hard to remember before you were 15, but can you tell us about the Jewish community in Salonika?
Yes, we belong, every area from Salonika, we have synagogues. And we have to work any place you're going in a synagogue. Every Friday night, my mother, she used to take the cup with oil to bring in a synagogue and pour oil in some masa. So, and we was very happy. We was poor, but we was very happy. Every Saturday night, we used to sing, everything was, we didn't touch fire, we're not allowed to light candles or something like that. After Friday night, 6, 7 o'clock, that's it. We wasn't allowed to touch lights. And every night, to go in a synagogue, somebody from the temple used to pass by and knock the stick on the ground to call my father to go at tefillah. You know what's a tefillah? In a synagogue. Every single morning, 4 o'clock, this guy used to knock. Liao Nissim, get up, it's time for you to go at tefillah in the synagogue. And he was get up and go in the synagogue every single morning. We was Orthodox Jewish.
Was it a big synagogue?
Well, was pretty good synagogue. Every area in Salonika, they have their own synagogue. Every area.
A lot of Jewish people lived in Salonika?
Yes, ma'am. 60,000 people in Salonika before the war. Yeah.
And you were Orthodox, but if you were in Greece, were you Sephardic?
Yes. Yes. All the Jewish in Greece were Sephardic. We don't have Ashkenazis over there. Very few.
Now tell me a little bit about school. What do you remember about when you were in school? What did you and your friends do?
Well, in school I was taking Hebrew. And what I remember, I don't know if you know that much, I have Hebrew that my teacher, every single afternoon before we finish school, we have to read the Merchai read in school. And also Saturday morning, he have to see us in a temple, in the synagogue. And every Saturday morning, I have to go in the synagogue. Because if he didn't see us over there in the synagogue Saturday morning, so Monday morning he punish us. And I remember a lot of things, especially Hebrew. You don't understand Greek, but I remember a lot of things. You want me to say anything in Hebrew?
Sure.
You want to?
Sure.
Do you remember when Yitzhak took the Abraham? He took his son, the God tell him, you have to bring korban to your son, Yitzhak, over here. And when he was ready to do that, you know what it says, huh? Abraham, Abraham, אל תשלח ידך אל הנער ואל תעש לו מאומה. ראיתי כי אתה ירא האלוהים ולא חסכת את בנך ממני.
Wow, I'm impressed.
How about that? See, this is the only thing I remember in Hebrew. There are a few more things, but this is the more thing I remember.
Now, what stands out most in your mind about when the war began?
Well, like I told you, I was working, and I want to work until the last day. They're going to pick us up. But I wasn't allowed to go in a factory to work that time, because when the German people came, they suppressed everything. They put us the Jewish star, and we wasn't allowed to go nowhere. And it was very bad for me to stay home that time.
When the Germans occupied Salonika,
In 90, yeah.
Did you have any freedom in your neighborhood?
In a neighborhood, yes, but not out. Like if I want to go downtown, we're not supposed to.
Did your father continue to work during this time?
No, ma'am. Nobody can work. Nobody can go out.
Did you have to move out of your house in Salonika?
When?
During the German occupation? Or did they let you stay in your house?
Well, when the time we moved from the house is the time they put in this like ghetto, say, close to the trains. So we was over there for 3 weeks. But before that, they put us the Jewish star. And also, I forgot to tell you, you know how they find out the German people, every single neighborhood, they have to pick up and bring in this place, but the name of this place was Baron Ish. And the chief rabbi from Salonika give to the German people all the Jewish neighborhood, the list of the Jewish neighborhood, and the German people, they know where we was.
When they came to move you near the train station, how did they come for you?
Well, my mother, when they moved by this neighborhood, she gave us one sack. We have sacks and underwear and all that stuff. That's all. We don't have nothing. We was carrying that. There's no way we can carry nothing to go over there. And we was over there 2-3 weeks, and then the food was finished. So my mother says, that's it, it's time to go for us. And we went to the trains.
Now, If it's not too difficult to talk about, tell me what the train ride was like when you got on the train.
Well, when we got in a train was in the morning, and the Red Cross bring it to us a food to eat for 12 days. And when we sit in a train, we can move one to the other one. Was so tired. We was 85 people in a train, probably more than that, probably 90, who knows. And only one time they open the doors from the train. We get out, that's it.
Were there seats?
No, we were sitting in the floor, one close to the other one. No seats, I mean, seats.
Did you know where the train was going?
No, ma'am. Nobody knows. Well, and also when we went to the train, when we got in the train, so the Jewish people, these Jewish people, they was wearing our people. They was wearing the white band. And those people, they was working with the German people. They came in a train and they says, you have to throw everything over here outside, because they're going to see watches or gold or something they're going to kill you. So my mother says, I have one watch. She says, Caroline, you better give it to them, the watch. That's it. And everybody else was given, all my family was about 50, 55 people, all my family in the train.
Do you remember about the date when you got on the train?
Well, I remember, I think it was March, the beginning of March.
Which year?
1943.
Okay.
1943.
Do you know how long you were on the train?
12 days, I told you before.
Right.
Yeah.
When they took you off the train, what happened first?
Well, one day, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, when we got out from the train, and my mother, she started to cry. I says, Mother, what are you crying for? And she says, I forgot my purse. I says, so what? She says, well, I have the deed from the house and the purse, and what I'm going to do now. And then the German people, the German guys that was over there wait for us, they start to pull us from the line, because when we get out, we was all together. And we got in a line 5 by 5. That's what they told us to. But I was with my mother, my old sister, the children, everyone. So the German guy, he pulled my sister out from the line. So after, I bent a little bit to see where my sister went. So the German guy, he came and he picked me up too, and took me the same line where my old sister was, Daisy. So, and the rest, we don't know where they went. That time, we don't know where they went.
Did you know where you were at that point?
No. We know was in Poland, but what place, where we're going to go, where the parents are, where everyone is, nobody knows. We don't know.
So where did they take you and the other people in your line?
Well, my sister and I, they took us to the barrack in the camp in Poland. The beginning what they done is they put us the number in the arm. See, the big number I have in my arm. And after that, after they put the numbers on my arm, they took us to the bath and the showers. So they cut out it, they take us our clothes, and they took us in a cold shower. So I was so scared from this cold water. So the German lady, she was there, she pushed me under the shower, and I have to go in. And I went in. And from that point, they took us to the barrack. It was number 15, this barrack. And we was 8 people in the same bed. Was 1, the bottom, 2, 3. And with wood, they were from the wood, that. And we was 4 sleeping, 4 that side and 4 from the legs, from the feet. So 8 people on the same bed.
And you were still with your sister?
Yes, I was with my sister very low, but 1 year, year and a half. So.
Were you mostly with other people from Salonika?
Yes, we was almost all, a lot of blocks from Salonika. 60,000 people from Salonika, all of our friends, and we know each other, everyone we know each other.
So now you know what camp were you were in?
Oh yes, I know. I was in a big, now, yes. Because, but when we walk in, we don't know where we was going. So when my mother, you think she was crying because she was thinking they took us to work. And after the work, we're going to go back at home. But nobody knows where we was going. That's going to happen. It's going to kill us. Nobody knows that.
That was the last time you saw your mother was
Yes,
in line?
Yes. My mother, my sisters, everyone. I didn't see them anymore.
What happened to them?
Well, they went to the gas chamber. After, certain time, when we work in a camp, we met the French girls over there. And we asked about the mothers, about the, sisters' mothers. And they says, they died, they took them in a gas chamber. We don't believe them. With all this, they are crazy. I says, it's impossible. So, but little by little, we find out there is no parents anymore. They all went in a gas chamber.
How about your father?
My father, he died 3 months before we went to the camp in Salonika, Greece.
Now, what type of work did you do in the camp?
In the camp, the beginning, after the quarantine, after the 40 days, we was inside. So, after that day, they took us again to the shower, got again the head, and disinfect our clothes. To get this clothes disinfect, they let us 24 hours naked outside, and they put our clothes on a roof from the barrack. So after 24 hours, we was naked outside in a cold, freezing weather. So the German guy came and he says, we are allowed to get the clothes from the roof. So we got the clothes from the roof, but everything was wet because it was raining. It was freezing rain that day.
What was a typical day like when you started in the morning in the camp?
Morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, c'est l'appel. So from 4 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock, 4 hours, we have to stand up at c'est l'appel. So until the German lady, surgeon, she has to come and count us. After she counts us, we have to go to work. The beginning, our work was to tear buildings, tear houses down after we finish the quarantine. So after we finish to tear the buildings down, you know what we did? They took us after that to give us the shovels and pick for the ground, to open a hole in the ground I was up in the hole in the grounds. The girl next to me, she was pour the ground inside of the hole, just to keep us busy, to give us, hard time. That's what we was doing. And this was for about 3-4 months. And then they came some order from Germans. They says, we have to put some people in different places because it's finished. They took me to the Viberai. I told you the other day. So my sister and I was working over there. But in the meantime, before that, when we finished work this outside, so my sister got sick. And I took her to the hospital. When they put her the thermometer in her mouth, I was more sick than she was. So both we went to the hospital. And we have typhus. We was over there for 2-3 weeks. And meantime, the Rattons was working pretty good over there. And one night, a lady, she died, she was on the ground. She died, and the Rattons eat her number. And they don't find which one was. If you don't have number, that's what they was calling you from the number. They didn't find the number.
Did they feed you?
The food in a hospital was dying for a little water. Only water we need. That's what it means. That was the main thing in a hospital. But before that, they was giving us, hot tea in the morning. But every single bed, every morning, we have to go and bring the big cans, 4 girls, 2 from one side, 2 from the other side, to bring in a block these cans from hot tea. Until it was close to the door for the block, the Ukrainians, these guys, they was very mean. They kick us the cans and throw all the tea in the ground, on the floor. So we was crying after. After we have such a hard time, we don't have nothing after. Even this little bit tea we was drinking in the morning. At lunchtime was a little bit soup, water soup. At nighttime was a sliced bread, 1 sliced bread, margarine, or a little bit salami or cheese. That's it.
But you were fed regularly?
No, not, every single day. Do you think that was enough for us? One smaller sliced bread? We were starving on it.
Now describe the work you did at the Viberai.
The Viberai, well, you have to bring me a cellophane paper, That the Viberai was working, with a cellophane paper, pigtails. The way you make the pigtails.
Braids.
That's what we was doing. That's what we was doing in a Viberai. This is the commando. I was, my sister and I, Viberai.
What did they do with them?
I don't know. Don't ask me, Annie.
Can you remember any of the people that you were with?
The people I was with, they died. A couple of years ago, this girl, she died.
How about your sister? Tell me about her.
This selection was 2-3 times a week. One day, they was calling us, all the Jewish entry there, all the Jewish, we have to get out from the block. So we know, when they says all the Jewish entry there, it's for the selection. If you show this bone over here, and the bone in the back, that's it. The German the German guy was pulling you out from the line and sent to the gas chamber. So that was all about. But this was, we don't know when it's going to be that. Sometimes was in the morning, sometimes was when we was working, sometimes was midnight, at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. They was calling the Jewish center. All the Jews, we have to get out for the selection. But before that, they give us double portion bread. The beginning, we don't know what it was all about. But after, we learn. When we was calling this chulaget, when they was given double portion of bread that day we have selection. We have to go to the gas chamber. Some people, they have to go in the gas chamber.
All right, Caroline, we're going to change the tape now, and then we'll talk more about the selections.
Okay.